The roar beneath the scoreboard at Maracanã Stadium displayed 1907, both the time and the date. July 19th, 2025. Brazil's National Football Day. The final whistle of the FIFA Club World Cup final had blown 17 minutes ago, yet no one had left. As a stadium security guard for 15 years, he had witnessed the full spectrum of human emotion: joy, rage, despair, but never this eerie collective stillness. 37,000 spectators remained frozen in their seats, eyes fixed on the empty pitch where the winning team had celebrated before mysteriously disappearing down the tunnel. Lucas stood at his post near Gate E, sweat trickling down his spine despite the unusual chill that had descended over Rio de Janeiro. The silence was wrong. A stadia should never be this quiet with so many people present. Their broadcast cameras had stopped rolling. The commentators had fallen silent. Outside, the streets of Rio had grown unnaturally still, as though the city itself was holding its breath. Lucas checked his watch. 1922. The digital display flickered, then reverted to 1907. He tapped the glass face, but the numbers remained unchanged. His phone showed the same. 1907. The scoreboard still read 1907. Then he noticed the field's markings shifting, white lines undulating like living things. The decades of passion, of collective emotion poured into this space by millions had awakened something ancient that had always existed beneath the foundations. The center circle pulsed, expanding and contracting with the rhythm of a massive heartbeat. Where it disappeared, the turf split open, revealing not soil but a viscous darkness that reflected no light. Time had stopped, yet something was moving. Their features remained the same, but something in their eyes had shifted, a vacancy replaced by an alien awareness. Their heads turned in perfect unison toward the widening void at the center of the field. At first, Lucas thought it was a trick of the lighter, subtle ripple across the perfectly manicured grass. The crowd remained motionless, but their collective presence seemed to intensify. What had been built to contain was now revealing its true purpose: to channel. The crowd remained seated, their breathing now synchronized, chests rising and falling as one. Some had begun to smile. All part of the invitation. His limbs moved with mechanical precision as he turned away from the gate and walked toward the field, joining the stream of security personnel, staff, and media members, all moving in perfect unison. Lucas felt the weight of 37,000 consciousnesses pressing against his mind, not as individuals but as a single entity awakening to itself. Brown. A low vibration began beneath his feet. Not an earthquake, but something more deliberate, more purposeful. The concrete trembled with a frequency that made his teeth ache and vision blur. The sensation traveled up through his body, settling in his chest cavity where it synchronized with his heartbeat. The stadium lights dimmed, then brightened, then dimmed, again breathing. The massive structure was breathing. Lucas realized with mounting horror that Maracanã, Brazil's temple of football, renovated countless times since its construction in 1950, had never been just a building. Brr. The championship trophy at midfield began to sink into the grass. Gold surface, tarnishing to black as it descended. From his position, Lucas could see that some spectators had begun to change. The scoreboard flickered again. 1907. The numbers rearranged themselves. 1907. The year construction had begun on the first major football stadium in Brazil. Beginning. Lucas felt a pressure building behind his eyes, as knowledge, not his own, flooded his consciousness. The truth revealed itself with terrible clarity. Football had never been just a sport in Brazil. It had been a ritual, a summoning, spanning generation. The passion of millions, creating a psychic vortex, feeding something that had waited patiently beneath the earth. Tarder National Football Day with the global attention of the Club World Cup final focused on Maracanã. The threshold had finally been crossed. The darkness at the center of the pitch expanded, consuming the field line by line. Lucas tried to move, to run, to scream, but his body no longer belonged to him. The stadium itself continued its rhythmic pulsing, concrete and steel flexing impossibly as the structure shed its architectural disguise. As Lucas's consciousness dimmed, his final thought was of the billions watching worldwide, all connected to this moment, to this place. The roar was coming, not from the crowd, but from beneath, and all of Brazil would hear it.